Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Freeze Peach Gaming. My name is Steven. This is where I like to talk about pop culture, politics, and where the two combine. Please consider giving me a like, comment, and subscribe down below. I appreciate your support. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at an article from slashfilm.com. It is about the Alec Baldwin situation, because, everyone's not done talking about that yet, but we have some, new light coming from what happened with the assistant director. Let's hop right into it. So the article is titled, Rust Assistant Director Has a History with Unsafe Situations on Set According to Former Crew Members. I feel like that should have been an automatic red flag for whoever was hiring on this cast here. Yeah, our assistant director, they're known for getting people hurt. Let's see what they talk about. Assistant Director Dave Halls, who was involved in the fatal shooting accident that caused the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins last Thursday during the production of Rust, had a history with contributing to unsafe conditions on the set of films, according to 3 crew members who worked with him in the past. It was Halls who unknowingly handed actor and producer Alec Baldwin a prop gun with live ammunition, which Baldwin pointed and fired at the camera while rehearsing a scene. The bullet passed through Hutchins, who later died in the hospital, and it also struck and injured director Joel Souza. A sheriff's affidavit revealed that Halls yelled, "Cold gun," when he gave Baldwin the weapon, thereby indicating that it contained no ammo and was safe to use. See, that's what I was talking about in my last video. There are going to be multiple people implicated in this. I believe that this guy, Dave Halls, will also be charged with manslaughter, at the very least accessory to manslaughter. But Alec Baldwin is still responsible. He should know how to check a firearm. If you were going to handle firearms, even prop ones in a movie, you need to know how to handle it and how to make sure that it is safe. The anonymous crew member spoke about Halls and his reputation with CNN, where one of them is quoted as saying, "Halls was a person with enough red flags that his career should have been done with already. He was still out there, putting crews into outrageous situations. It's tough to think that Halyna Hutchins could have just as well been one of our crews. It was just too close for comfort." I imagine so. And apparently there was a similar situation on the set of Freedom's Path. Not sure what that is. As more details have come to light about the circumstances surrounding the death of Hutchins, it has become apparent that there are other red flags leading up to the incident on the Rust set. In 2019, Halls was reportedly let go from a production of the as-yet unreleased film, Freedom's Path, when an 1800s-style muzzle-loading rifle unexpectedly fired during a scene, resulting in a boom operator suffering inner ear injuries due to the sound of the explosion. Yeah, that sucks. That dude probably has tinnitus for life now.
Super loud. Probably the reason I have tinnitus.
Welcome to the club. Then as now, someone had identified the rifle as a cold weapon, so it wasn't the first time something like this had happened on set while Halls served as AD. All 3 crew members, who do not wish to be identified for fear of reprisal, yeah, I bet they would never work again if their names got out, told CNN Freedom's Path did not hold regular safety meetings, which goes against the industry norm. One said that people made multiple queries about whether the rifle was safe to use without receiving a clear answer. Yeah, I believe that would be a major problem. Also, there was another article popped up recently. Let's see if Rust movie armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed says best part about job is showing how safe guns can be. Let's see. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, this is coming from Fox News, by the way. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer on the set of Rust, where the cinematographer was just accidentally killed, recently said on a podcast that the best part of her job was showing people that the guns aren't as scary as one may think. I think the best part about my job is just showing people who are normally kind of freaked out by guns how safe they can be and how they're not really problematic unless they're in the wrong hands. Close that. I don't want to hear this shit. Shut that down, Fox News. Quit forcing me to listen to your crap. Reed, 24, revealed Rust was her second movie where she was in charge of the weapons on set. Yeah, it'll be her last 2. Her father, Thel Reed, is also a well-known Hollywood armorer. Reed also said on the podcast that loading blanks into a prop gun is the scariest thing to me. You have to look at the front of it and determine which one is the blank if it's dummied up. That's how I tell, at least. There's gotta be a better way, like... Alright, let's give an example here. Alright? Don't worry, there's no one else around here. You can lock a gun in place, like so. You can lock the slide back, just so you see. Let's go full screen for a second so you can really see this. Alright, see? The firearm is locked in place. You can look down this way. If you put it up to a light source, you can see, so I have it up to my screen there. If you put it up to a light source, you can see that the barrel is empty. You could even take, let's say, a lighter. Oh, if I didn't grab one that had pocket lint in it. You can see that way. Look, got a lighter lit. I'm looking through the gun barrel. I can see, and I'm not having to point the gun at anyone or at myself. My hand is below where the barrel is. Do I light it? Bam, there we go. I can see that it is not dummied up. This is a proper firearm. Ready to go. So, that's bull. You don't have to look down the barrel to make sure that it isn't loaded. Let's go back to the article. So yeah, at least that's how I do it. Yeah, real smart of you. Baldwin was reportedly very careful with firearms in the set of Rust prior to the accidental shooting. Well, if he was really careful with it, he would have known that, I understand this was an older gun, so you can't just look. They don't have, for instance, my gun. Checking again to make sure it is not loaded. Most guns have a sight on it, modern guns, where you can see if there is a bullet loaded into it. But he should have still known that you can take a gun, even a revolver, you can pull, let the magazine out and look at it and say, okay, there we go. There are actual bullets in this. At that point in time, it wouldn't be too unsafe to, maybe not point it directly at yourself, but you can point it off to the side, like so, and look and see that the bullets are live. You could even take them out of the magazine and look at them. So she claims he was being very careful, but if he was, he wouldn't have accidentally shot someone.
You gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped him? Oh, what the fuck's happening? Oh, man, man. Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face. Why the fuck did you do that?
According to the warrant affidavit, which was obtained by Fox News, Russell actually commended the 63-year-old actor for his conduct during a prior scene that involved discharging a firearm. He noted that the actor observed all the safety protocols and even did an extra check with the crew to make sure that no one was near him. Specifically, he made sure a child who was on set that day wasn't anywhere near him when discharging the weapon. Well, he at least had some presence of mind to check what was going on around him, but he probably was a little bit intimidated by the firearm itself, which is both a good and bad thing when handling firearms. You don't want to be afraid, because if you're afraid, you're more likely to cause an accident. Unfortunately, Baldwin was reportedly told by Assistant Director Dave Hulls that the gun he was working with when Hutchins was shot was a cold gun, a term used when a firearm being worked with on the set is not loaded with any live ammunition. Unfortunately, it seems the gun was in fact loaded when Baldwin pulled the trigger while working with Susan Hutchins to set up a shot. It went off, resulting in one of the worst on-set tragedies in recent history. I could agree with that. It's definitely an on-set tragedy. In the warrant from Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, Sousa explained that he heard what sounded like a whip and then a loud pop, and noticed Hutchins, who was standing behind at the time, grabbed her midsection as she stumbled backwards. She was assisted to the ground by other crew members, and Russell recalls Hutchins saying she could not feel her legs. Ooh, that's not good. That means she got hit in her spine. That is not good. Safety of our cast and crew is the top priority of Rust Productions and everyone associated with the company, Rust Movie Productions said in a statement to multiple outlets. Though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. We will continue to cooperate with the Santa Fe authorities in their investigation and offer mental health services to the cast and crew during this tragic time. Yeah, this really sucks for those people. I definitely still feel bad for anyone who is involved, but there were multiple layers that this was supposed to go through. And the story I was looking for that I couldn't find is, this is rumor, I don't know. I've heard from someone else that apparently the Hannah person was apparently shooting at cans with a prop gun before they traded it over to be used on screen, which, as I said in the previous video, doesn't make sense. If it's a prop gun, the barrel is plugged. That's how you can tell the difference between a prop gun and a real gun, is a prop gun can't fire projectiles. That's the point of a prop gun. It's just a prop. If you want to fire even blanks, you're going to need a properly working firearm. And they use different types of blanks depending on which type of shot it is. As far as we know, this doesn't appear to be an occluded barrel that caused it, similar to the Brandon Lee death. But this definitely isn't a good thing. This is a horrible tragedy. Feel bad for these people. And it should definitely be an account for anyone who does own firearms and handle firearms to know how to use them safely. As you saw, every time I picked up my firearm during this video, first thing I do, I check the little sight right here. Then I actually look down to see if anything's in there. You can even just very slightly pull the slide back to see if there's anything loaded in there. Now, with revolvers, it's a little bit different, but there's still ways to safely check to see if your revolver is loaded or not. Well, that's all I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.
How do you tell the difference between a rectal and an oral thermometer? The taste! Oh, waka waka!